I love how Chelley was like, you're like two different people. You're apologetic one moment and then you're unapologetic the next. Like, this is how individuals who have like true character flaws, personality disorders show up. You are like split into two. Call it what you want, okay? Welcome back in, everyone. This is Black Girls Talking TV, where we bring the group chat to life and discuss all your favorite TV shows. Today is all about Love Island USA Season 7 Wrap-Up Reunion. I am one of your hosts. I am Victoria, and I am a psychologist.
And I'm Kamaria. I am an attorney and a pop culture writer. So let's just get into it. Like, let's start with overall thoughts. Like, was it entertaining? You felt like it was boring? Was it messy enough? Because for me, it was like, It was a little underwhelming.
It was definitely underwhelming.
And it was long.
Yeah, it was long and it was a lot of parts in it. I was like, we don't need this. The side commentary in the back room, I feel like it's something that they do for Bravo a lot. So I was like, okay, it's an interesting ad, but it didn't add enough for it to be necessary. Like, when it's on Bravo,
liked it. I liked the little side commentary, but it wasn't super juicy. I guess, like, I don't watch a lot of Bravo TV, you know.
Yeah. I feel like that was like an Andy-esque thing that they were trying to bring, but they should have brought more, because I know Andy probably had some things to say, and it seems like from the comments and things that are now starting to circulate that a lot was cut out. We already know they were filming all day. So yeah, I'm like, the things that we probably really wanted to see, y'all also edited out. So that's my overall thing, but I'm not going to say it was a terrible reunion. I think there was a lot of things that seemed like, it was discussed, and there was a lot of emotions in the air. People got some things off their chest, which I think is important. But yeah, we got to get into it.
Yeah, I mean, this was my first, of course, like my first season watching Love Island. And so this is my first reunion, right? I was expecting more. I feel like, one, don't take all day to film it, first of all. Like, I don't mean like all physical day. Like, it's basically 2 months between the reunion and the end of the season. I think it should be a little closer together. And then two, I also think it should be put out like very close in time to when it was filmed. Like, why are we taking weeks? Like, it shouldn't take that long. I honestly, as someone who records and edits our own episodes, I know they got a team that can whip the thing around. Come on. Like, it should not take more than 2 days.
That's real.
It should not take more than 2 days. I know we're not like doing star-studded production in terms of like editing, but I know they got better editors than us. So it shouldn't have taken that long, I feel like, because it loses some of its steam. And then we all want to sit here and see what's happening with this Iris Pepe, Amaya Bryant situation. And then again, it's behind. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, because people were saying this about, like, I guess the Kiki interview as well, like how late they came out or whatever. But it's like this, I don't know. Maybe it's an industry standard. Maybe it's something related to how long people could work and union right. I don't know. But they need to get it together. Hire more people. I don't know.
No, agreed.
Because they got to go faster.
Yeah, definitely agreed. Especially when this is like a real-time show. We watch it in real time. And so, like, when things are being said, we want to see the reactions in real time. Like, that is the jewel of Love Island. So give it to us, like, right here in the now, so that we as a community can process it and figure it out. Like, as dedicated viewers, Love Island is a lot of time, a lot of dedication to watch. You talking about 40 plus hours of watch time, viewership, subscriptions, it's a lot. So, like, give us what we want, point blank, period.
Yeah. And like, one of the things that I was thinking about too is also, it's like, it affects how people show up to the interview when you delay it so much, you know what I'm saying, and what people are expecting. Because it's like, we could slide into Huda next, but they gave all this room between her doing all these interviews, Call Me Daddy interview, all these other things, Entertainment Tonight, saying all the things that she said. And it's like, no, immediately, let's, like, check this chick right after she said it. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are we waiting so long? So it gives her this room to be able to say like, oh, I've grown, I've processed. Even though Andy checked her on that, but it gives her this sort of room to do that, because it's like, it's been a month, it's been 2 months, as opposed to it being like, okay, bitch, yesterday you was talking this. What's up about that? Like, I needed to be a little closer so that we won't have to have all the space and people can pretend like they've healed, or pretend like it's no issues. That was yesterday's thought. Today, I wouldn't do those things today. It's like, girl, that was a month ago. But anyway,
literally, and you still did the
let's
same
get
things
into right
during the reunion,
right?
But yeah,
let's get into the Huda of it all, and your thoughts on like pick your fruit from the poison tree. Come on.
Let me just say this overall about Huda. I think it is unfortunate that she can cause harm and then placate with like it was just this, it was just that, it was just, and then continuously do it over and over and over and over again. I feel like anybody who at this very moment is cool with Huda from this season, it's like, your time is coming at some point. And last night I had a thought, like, even with the whole Louis thing, like, his time is coming.
It's her time coming with him. Shoot, that's they, girl. They are hurricanes that's about to like run into each other.
Yeah.
So I have no like, you like it, I love it. Okay. Like, that is not a come up. She with that little Netflix thing. She think it's a little no come. It's like, no. Girl.
Yeah.
Girl.
Yeah. Louis is not that big of a topic for you to be even doing all of that. Like, Louis is not somebody people come to even watch. You can at least say that about yourself, right? That you caused so much drama, you stirred up so much through the season that people sat down because they were just like, what is this Huda girl doing? But Louis don't have that type of clout. So
yeah,
Netflix, like Andy said, but tell Netflix this is the #1 streaming show of the summer, and probably will be for years to come.
I don't even think she was telling the truth, to be honest. Not. Like, why would she be in a contractual obligation with Netflix? Like, for what? Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's Louis who would be in a contractual obligation, and it does not extend to you by proxy. Like, he ain't supposed to tell you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He ain't supposed to go out with you.
Right.
He's the one that ain't supposed to be doing whatever that his contract says he ain't supposed to do. So
and he did it. So if there was a contractual agreement, it's already been broken, because there would be nothing to speak about at this filming if you wasn't doing shit that you wasn't supposed to do, quote unquote.
Oh, so, it's like, bruh.
It's like the delusion.
Like, I ain't even got time.
Yeah.
I will say this, like, overall, so exhausted and so tired to talk about Huda. It's like simultaneously, I have exhaustion and like no words. I'm tired. It's like I'm done.
Yeah.
With the checking of the bags conversation.
Yes.
For those of you who watched Meet the Fockers, like, I'm done with that shit. You get what I'm saying? I'm done with it. But at the same time, it's like, there's things that need to be said. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm up 2 months. It's like, I'm just, I'm so done with it. And then I'm so like, but let me just, because, and so it's just it was kind of aggravating. I will say, like, for me, I think the reunion was more disappointing because of her, because she's laughing through everything, and there's not like this accountability. She's like, he, all this through this montage of her verbally abusing,
and they didn't even show it all. They didn't even show it. Yeah, I was like, this montage was not a great montage. Like, let me see her breaking in plates. It was like, intended. I know she wasn't breaking no plates, but that's how she was acting. Like, she was punching walls,
drawers. That's where Andriana.
Let's see the chaos that she ensued on everybody, please.
Yeah. And so it felt like that. I agree. It felt like they were doing like a little cutesy, like, sort of edit for her, or cleaner edit. But at the same time, what they even showed, it was like, girl, like, you should have been like looking at it like that, like, it kind of, it's like, but you laughing at it, it's like, bitch, it ain't funny,
right?
It's not funny,
especially when you see everybody like hurt is not laughing. Like, this isn't a laughing matter. And so you have
We're all
absolutely no
laughing together.
empathy.
Yeah.
You couldn't even put yourself in the other person's shoes that you were victimizing through all of this. Like, you couldn't think for a second, how might Jeremiah feel watching this back? How might Chelley and Olandria feel watching this back? How might Chris feel watching this back? Ace, anyway, especially during that heart rate challenge, I was like, girl.
Oh yeah, girl, yeah. It's just like no lessons learned. But it that's what I said. It's like I'm tired of talking about her because it's like it's like a bag with a hole in it. It's just going in and it's falling right back out. So it's like it's no point. It's no point. It's literally no point. I do want to speak on like the Olandria racism comment and her not posting.
Yeah.
Also, like not even Peacock. Somebody mentioned that in our watch party. Shout out to those who came to the watch party, our virtual watch party. But somebody mentioned that how like Peacock didn't make a statement that was like now I'm not 100% sure.
They did it. They made an anti-bullying statement.
I didn't Google it. Yeah, they did. But like the racism, it's like specifically. And so it's just like she was just walking all around that thing being like, oh, I've gotten racism too. They asked you to specifically post something out there. It's like I don't even have my words.
Huda doesn't care about the racism because,
I promise you.
Huda doesn't care about the racism because she benefits from the racism at the end of the day, right? Like, and again, we've talked about this before. The things that she has done to her image, how she presents herself, right? Like, even her saying, I thought it was my sister. You thought this black, I don't know if she was black Fijian, I don't know, but she looked like she was a black woman up there singing. You thought this black woman was your sister? Like, be effing for real. You want to be everything but what you are based on how you present yourself and what you've done to restructure your body, your face, everything, right? Like, even during the thing, it was
that gives her access to these other communities, as you said before.
Absolutely.
It gives her access because she has made herself to be this more racially ambiguous woman that is like what I guess American society is peddling up as their version of diversity. The racially ambiguous woman is that. It's like we're gonna pick one. That's the one we're gonna pick. Right. She's got the privileged seat after the white woman. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like she's made herself into that. And it's kind of unfortunate, but I mean, but that gives her access.
Yeah, and I think it's
to all these men.
It added more color, I think, to the conversation that Olandria even asked her and said, like, this is what is happening to me, and I'm personally affected. And I think, like, when you're trying to compare apples to tomatoes, the fact that I think the biggest point, like, when you come out the villa, like, Huda had the largest following by a landslide, right? Like, the following count did not compare. So who do you think actually received more racism? Who do you think was oppressed more based on the actions that happened in the villa? Like, and what the truth actually is, right? And then when you add on the fact that businesses were coming for Chelley and Olandria, like, be effing for real. And she will never stand for oppressed people, whether it's her people, black people, Mexican people, whatever, because she has assimilated to dominant culture. And she benefits from it at the end of the day. She's anti-her. So she is going to be for anti-anything oppressed because it empowers her at the end of the day. It goes along with what she feels is ideal, what she feels is beauty, because she's assimilated to it. So
it was a lot. Like, so let's get maybe into some of the response, like how people approach her. How were you thinking about Olandria and Chelley? For me, on one hand, I was thinking like, oh, they gonna come down with the hammer and they gonna smack down. But at the same time, and I didn't think that's what they did per se. I think there was a little bit more heat for Coco than it was for Huda, in my view. However, and not saying it was undeserved or anything like that, but that part was like, ooh, but the Huda part felt like more patient, more calm, more like trying to get to her heart and make her see, as opposed to like just checking a bitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that was something I was kind of like disappointed by, but not at like Olandria and Chelley, but just in the sense of I wanted to see it happen. Like as a viewer, I was disappointed that I didn't get to see that girl get slapped down. But at the same time, it's like it was a catch-22. Like if they had done that, especially the way Huda showed up, just with her PR answers being like, oh yeah, I love you guys. I wouldn't do any of that now. Whatever she was saying, you know, she gave these PR answers. If they had come with a nah, bitch, that one what you was saying a month ago, like it would have been like continue this bully narrative. narrative,
Yeah.
you know? And so it's like they had to sit in between a rock and a hard place with her, whereas like they didn't have to do that with Coco. And so there was a little more of a like, yeah, no, check it, you know, type of attitude with her versus her.
I would say that's what we saw. That's what we saw.
You talking about like in terms? Oh, you saying
in
like
terms
you
of what?
think
Yeah,
they
we
may have checked
yeah.
her
You can tell the conversations with Huda
more
were chopped and screwed, right?
cut up,
Like,
yeah. No,
but
true,
it seemed
true,
like we got more of a consistent flow, especially because. Right, like you have two very well-spoken individuals between her, Olandria and Coco. They're both well-spoken women, so they can actually have an exchange and a back and forth where you're trying to get like this understanding. Right, I think part of the way that they came at Huda was her like comprehension level. Like you can't have a real deep, serious conversation with somebody like Huda because she just doesn't understand. Like it's you can just, I feel like you can see Huda, she just gets checked out and she's like, okay, mask on, I love you, girl, like I'm so proud of you, and like, girl, you're doing the damn thing, and oh my god, and I'm just moved on, and I just it's like, how do you have a real ass conversation like that where you can go like toe to toe, stand on business with each other out of respect? Because I feel like even though Olandria and Coco did not agree, it was still very respectful, and they could both get their opinions across. And it's like, we're going to have to agree to disagree at the end of the day with that. But it's like, you can't do that with Huda. And so like the toe to toe with Huda is like girl, is like, let's be effing for real. I don't even think it's like a heart plea. I think it's like a bitch, what the fuck plea. Like, I can't with you. I can't. Like, I don't see how you don't understand this. Yeah, I think it's more so like I don't know how you don't have any empathy. Like, I love how Chelley was like, you're like two different people. Because that's exactly how she operates. Like, you're apologetic one moment and then you're unapologetic the next. Like, this is how individuals who have like true like character flaws, personality disorders like show up. You are like split into two. Call it what you want, okay?
No, I agree. When we were watching the season, I was saying something like this about how when she shows up to whoever she shows up to, like in their face, she will kind of shift, and however they're feeling, that's how she'll feel. I think it was like Ace and her had a conversation, Nic and her had a conversation, and I remember with the Ace one, she was all saying whatever she was saying beforehand, but then when they sat down, she was just like, yeah, no, there's no issues, da 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 da, blah blah blah, and it's like, that's kind of like a lie, girl, because you just was saying that whatever issue you were having. And so I feel like that's the same thing she does here. And it's just like she gives this answer. Somebody called it love bombing or whatever. And just saying I love you repeatedly to avoid accountability is manipulation. And it's like she's got that down, you know? And we shouldn't be surprised because she had it down in the villa. Her emotional manipulation, the tears, the way, like she knows how to use that stuff to kind of go in a direction she needs to go, and she knows how to chill the fuck out when she knows that she's got to.
Right.
Because if I'm chill right now and I'm like, everything's good, you've clearly moved on, I've moved on. If she's chill, she knows that the other folks on the other side of that are gonna look like the aggressor.
Right.
You get
exactly.
what I'm saying? And then when she's crying because there's an emotional thing and you did something to her, she knows she can play it up because I can position me as the victim and you as the aggressor. And so it's like she know how to do that thing. And it's like when we were clipping the memes, it's like so many to choose from, so many Twitter thoughts. But somebody said
she's
something
the worst
about
non-black friend to have as a black woman.
This is a black woman's worst fear to have when you're having non-black friends, because you're gonna have that privilege in that back and forth, and you're gonna end up on the short end of that stick. And so it's just like I said this in a previous episode. I was like, for black women, we always know, for the most part, that we got us. We know that there's a safe space among each other and we can trust each other. And when we can't, we know it's off. The energy is a little off. But with other races, it is sometimes difficult to gauge always, because there is like the Janae and Kenny situation. I know that's like not a girlfriend to girlfriend sort of vibe, but it's just different. Like you never know what type of biases people have. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so like it's easier to deal with it, not easier, but it's more at home. I guess that's a better way to say it. You feel more at home dealing with other black women, and you know that for the most part, they got your back, or they, it's not going to be all of this extra stuff, and it's not going to be too difficult to decipher. That's why I like that Coco and it's like, clocked it, boom, I understand where you're coming from. You ain't have to do it 2 and 3 and 55 times like they like with Huda. It's like, I understand where you're coming from, and I recognize, because I know you should know what I know. You know what I'm saying? We be giving people the benefit of the doubt, and it's like, no, I know you, Coco, should know what I know, and I know what you know is that you did some shit, and don't try to play in my face, because I know you know what I know. I know we're on the same wavelength.
Yes,
so
exactly.
I think it's clearer when there's that line crossed. Interrate, whatever.
With us, we speak our language.
Yeah.
We speak our language. We know.
Yeah.
When you in front of that camera, girl, there's a perception that can word can change it. Like go from 0 to 100. So watch it. Which I do wish Coco. I'm not gonna say she didn't understand it, but I do wish. I don't know what she was coming with in that interview, I know after it does seem like she's genuinely like apologetic. So it is unfortunate that they can't, come together at some point. I don't know, but
I mean.
You said it. You said it, and it was already a lot out there about Olandria and Chelley, and so for it to come from, as AD would say, in the house, when the call is from within the house, it don't feel good.
I ain't got time.
It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good.
Yeah. No, it is interesting that she chose that route, but I know at the reunion, though, that was like the first time I perked up. And I guess I'm looking for the drama. So, of course, I guess that's when, but before that, I was like, what are we talking about? What does this matter? This is going kind of slow. But that was the first time I was like, oh, okay. It's ping pong back and forth.
Right. But yeah, so like we discussed, Olandria, she asked for the post. It didn't happen. Something else they did, though, was they brought up the clip where Huda was feeling like she was being bullied. 100% in that moment, I was expecting Huda, one, to apologize to Olandria and say it should never have been directed towards you. And then also, two, understand that the comment came from Sierra, not from Chelley. So, what?
Yeah, so this is interesting. Like, so for that clip, like, so they played a couple clips that I feel like were not the best for Chelley, but at the same time, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it. This girl was a terror in this house. You know what I'm saying? So in this moment, I didn't feel like that was bullying, especially because it was not happening to her in her face, nothing like that. It was shade a little bit, just a little bit. But I think it was not Chelley's shade. Like you said, it was like they're all sitting down here talking. Taylor, too. Why is this mean girl narrative slapped onto Chelley's back? That's one. And then two, is it mean or is it just real? Like, because you've been operating through this house
been a
like a hurricane, and they tired. Because
that's what it was coming from.
When that came in. Yeah, remember when that came in up? That was at the time that she had been a terror, and everybody was expressing it. Nic, all of them were expressing how exhausting it was to be around her and Jeremiah. Like, it was shade, but it wasn't crazy shade. It was very lightweight, and it's like, it's predicated off of your actions and these people being exhausted with you. You know what I'm saying? And they recognize that you kind of like maybe a little self-centered, and you sitting there posing, and it's like, she think we looking at her, but we ain't. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a joke that my family loves me, but my family would make. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe not like that per se, but it's just not that serious. That's all what I'm trying to say. It ain't bullying. It wasn't. That's what the fuck it is.
Yeah, but
it ain't
if you're gonna call,
it's a little bit of shade, but it's like you also brought it on yourself. Yeah,
girl, but I'm like, please bring up other moments to solidify the fact that they are bullies, right? Like, this one situation does not make anybody a bully, especially with at the end of her clip, you see Nic talking about some, man, I'm tired of it, Hurricane Huda, and everybody is making comments, but for some reason, Chelley and Olandria are the only bullies in the situation, and I think that's ridiculous, and also why it was in Huda's best interest, if she wanted to keep these friendships, to stick up for Chelley and Olandria. It's like, it's like Huda saw that one clip and she was like, yep, everything is confirmed. I knew it was happening. I knew I was being bullied. It was like that one clip allowed her to be the victim.
I have a take. I don't think that she ever intended to be their friends. That's probably why she don't got friends in her real life, because I don't think her goal is to have friendships. I think her goal is to feel good. Her goal is to serve herself. That's how I feel. And so I feel like serving herself in the villa, being in a clique of friends, served her image, served the fact that she was in that house. I don't think she had intentions for being lifelong friends with these girls, to be honest. I think she wanted to use them. Maybe she was just like, oh, we're gonna be the PPG. Like maybe it was a branding thing. Maybe she thought they were gonna, whatever. I think her interest is herself. And I think as soon as she was done and the narrative that they bullied her and she's the victim became more of a cash, like more of a, I can't think today, but more of a
cash cow, because that's what it was. It was running. It was like run her a check. She got all them damn followers.
Then being the second PPG or being a part of whatever friendship group, it's like, boom, I'm gonna choose this route. And yeah, they were bullies, they were this, and so she's just I think self-serving and looking like to serve herself. And I think that a person like that is never going to ever be someone who has true friends, because they're not looking to be a friend. They're looking for what this friendship can do for me, sort of thing. But it is what it is.
Yeah, with that perspective, which I think is a great perspective, right? Like, I think it's her being the center of attention, and when she's not that, it makes her uncomfortable, and so she needs to find a way to make herself now the center of attention, and victimizing herself is a way to do that. I don't know if she is intelligent enough to think about, how can I, gain this or gain that. I think once the outcome is in front of her face and she can see where she can run with it, that's when she kind of takes off with whatever is presented in front of her, or whatever she can do to like make her, to like up her image, and then again be the center of attention. I don't think she's actually intelligent enough to even create a plan. I think this is just simply put, like, she needs to be the center of attention to have any type of gratification, and she's willing to do that. She's willing to undermine people. She's willing to disrespect others. She's willing to do whatever she got to do to get it, because in every instance we have seen, Huda has placed herself as the center of attention. Even in the cast photo at the reunion, she's standing to the side. I don't know if you remember when they did that the wood chopper challenge. I was like, why is Huda standing to the side like this? Like, why is she? And then I realized she always standing to the side like that, right in the middle. It's like she gotta make herself the center of attention. No matter where Huda is at in the photo, her ass is standing to the side, bent over, doing something to make sure she is seen in the picture. And I think that Chelley, because Chelley can just exist and people gravitate towards her naturally because of who she is, that is why she probably could never see herself being friends with Chelley. She saw that Olandria was struggling in the villa in terms of like finding a connection, and I think it was probably easier for her to try and place herself next to Olandria, because she probably felt like, well, Olandria, she's struggling over here, quote unquote, maybe nobody don't want her, and so I can stand next to her and still be bright. But next to a Chelley, oh no, baby, like all of these men want Chelley. It's what did she say about Chris? I was standing in this little green bikini and Chris is over there talking to Chelley. I'm doing this and Chelley. Like, she was so focused on Chelley because Chelley is exactly what she wants to be. And that's not to say Olandria isn't. I'm just saying the difference in between being the center of attention and how Chelley can easily get it, and Huda has to work for it over and over again.
Speaking of Chelley, I really enjoy all the time when Chelley speaks. She always, to me, is very clear, very calm, very clear. And even when there was like, Iris said something like, because people be saying these sound bites, Iris said like, I think it's just like maybe boundaries just weren't discussed and da-da-da-da-da. And then she turned around and she was just like, well, to that point, I mean, I don't feel like I should have to say, don't lick my man's thing. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that should be understood. And I totally agree with her. It's like people say these cutesy little things, but Chelley's always clear, and people would change the narrative like, oh no, she's just jealous. It's like, no, it's the friendship. Oh, she's over here trying to have both men, which she's allowed to have her both men. Okay, first of all. But second of all, that's not what she's saying. She's not talking about what's going on with the men. She's talking about the friendship. You get what I'm saying?
Correct.
And oh, she should be more mad at Ace. Whether she should be more mad at Ace,
and who's
or
to
not,
say that she wasn't mad at Ace?
Still, she's right. But she's still talking about the friendship.
Yeah.
It can be all these other things too. But what she's talking about, and she was very clear. And I'm like, how do these people miss that? So one thing I always like about Chelley is she says her piece very clearly, very calmly, and she leaves it at that. And it's just like she's been saying the same thing the whole time.
Consistent.
I wish that girl well, but this is not how my friends operate, and I do not want that. And she said that in the villa.
Yes.
And it became, oh, she's a bully. You don't have to accept somebody's apology.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have to accept someone's apology. So I enjoyed seeing her just be calm and be clear as she always is.
Agreed. I did not like Iris or Amaya even stepping into that situation, because one, it had nothing to do with y'all, or even Nic. I'm like, we're not about to talk about boundaries. And then when she said something about consent, I was like, okay, this was a PR answer, because you don't even know what consent means, because you was just sexually assaulting Chris. So you don't know what consent means. So let's not act like this was all because of consent, and whether or not somebody should be mad at
and
Ace.
That's a joke.
Huh?
I said as a joke, the sexual assault part.
I don't know. I'm dead serious. That was sexual coercion, baby. I'm not playing. I'm not playing, because if it would have happened to a woman,
which part?
When she talking about when she was when she counted to 3. Chris went on an interview and said,
I get what you're saying. Sexual coercion.
Yes.
That's a little different. Than sexual.
Well,
assault.
yeah. If it was a woman,
A woman.
Alarm bells would have been going off, and he probably would have been kicked out the villa. But anywho, I said all that to say, baby, you don't know nothing about consent, and that was a PR answer. And I don't like, again, that them two was jumping in Huda's defense, because it had nothing to do with them, especially when y'all are not jumping into defense. And I don't know what we did not see, but what we saw was you were not jumping in defense when it was racism, and when it was disrespect, when it was verbal abuse. You didn't even say nothing when the girl called you the B word and it popped up on the screen. You said nothing about it.
I know.
So let's not. She came from Amaya and Iris, and both of y'all about this situation when she damn near making a soft porn with Ace. All the moaning and the groaning, I don't think that there's blurred lines here whatsoever.
Yeah. The last little bits, as far as Huda is concerned, were related to Chris and Jeremiah's reactions. I really did like what Jeremiah was saying about that's not love bombing. Yeah. I don't personally know the technical definition of love bombing. It's not a technical term, I don't think. I think it's just this made up casual term. I don't think it's a clinical term.
Yeah, no, it's not a clinical term.
Yeah, so it's it's just some shit we made up, But I think that what he's saying about the intention to manipulate, I think that's something to it. But I get also what she's saying, that it's just there's a lot going on. But it's bruh, you did the exact same thing. And his point about being I asked you, am I doing too much? And you were like, no. I think that's a valid point. But also, this is the same chick talking about, I like my man obsessed with me.
Right.
She
wants to be love bombed. She wants that.
Yeah, it's
she wants that.
You just want to use it when it's convenient to say he's love bombing you, but it's not. That's just something that Ace came up with, and I like Ace. We done talked about him all season. He got his good, he got his bad, but Ace came up with that shit to me, and they just ran with it. She ran with it when it was convenient for her. You know what I'm saying? When it wasn't, he's the worst guy ever. It's I
love you. Let's move in together.
But then as soon as it becomes there's some issues here, then it's the same behavior is now love bombing. It's no, that's disingenuous.
Yeah,
but
that she's also
we spoke on Chris a little bit. But did we speak enough?
I don't think so. I think he was also very clear. When he said, my mother no longer likes her, I was like, okay, cool. We were wondering.
But I saw somebody say a theory about they understood when they came on that show how these Huda stans were trashing people, and they didn't want the hate. They didn't want that and so they may have just gone on there and said what they said, but they could clarify now.
Yeah,
it's safe, because that was kind of crazy, but he handled it well too. He didn't put his mama out there and say no, she thinks she's a bitch, she thinks she's this. She just said, let's just say she's glad
It did not
with
work
the way
out. Yeah,
things
no,
turned
he's
out.
been. I will
Yeah.
say one thing about Chris. He's been very classy with it from the start. I
Mm-hmm.
think he's been very careful with his words and his actions, and so I definitely respect that about Chris. And I think he handled himself very well. To just say point blank period, I don't respect it. It's not cool. I think that says a lot without saying a lot, like in very little words. And there's nothing you can say to that, which is why Huda was. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah. 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 And yeah.
Yeah. Anywho, let's get
Yeah.
into the rest of this. Let's get into Olandria and Taylor. What you think about that apology?
It was
Very
whack,
whack.
but Taylor's
Very
whack,
whack.
so it is what it
Yes,
is. It
very
was
much so.
expected to
Yeah.
be just like that. Somebody brought up in our watch party though how what's this whole deal with Nic and Taylor and like their friendship, and like Nic has never necessarily required that Taylor apologize or speak. It's like they're just buddy buddy, and it's just more of like that's him and Olandria's thing to
Yeah.
sort out, sort of. I mean, not saying that's what he said ever, but it's just been kind of like maybe that's the vibe. What are your thoughts on any of that? I know that's like,
Yeah, as Nic, he sticks up for Olandria in a lot of ways, and so I am surprised that this is not a place that he has stood firmly with Olandria, especially when Nic is the person who was in those conversations with Taylor. I think where the challenge may come in is like you knew Taylor was doing stuff like this and you decided to keep Taylor, right? Like I feel like in that regard, it might mess up his relationship with Olandria or put him in a different light. And so I think there could possibly be some self-motive. I do think, though, that there's also still the case of like when you are voting, I mean, you bias. You know what I'm saying? You gonna want your homeboys, your homegirls around point blank period. And so if that was any part of it, I think Nic does have a place to just be honest about it. But now it's kind of like too late. So now it's just gonna look like, okay, what the F? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if he's just running with it. I don't know. It's all assumptions because I truly do not understand why Nic has not held Taylor to the fire and just said, bruh. And Ace too. Like, let's be ever for real. Like
Ace about what?
About Taylor not liking Olandria.
But I'm talking about like, Ace also
Yes.
holding Taylor to the fire. Yeah, but I guess more so like with Nic, it's like that's your woman type of thing. But with that said, I do think that Nic just hands down cares about Olandria.
Absolutely.
Like that for me, I feel like he has supported her, and it's like that was it's very nice to see that he has just stepped in and been like, oh no, he tried to knock the crown off your head. No, I'm picking it up and I'm gonna hold your dress as you walk down this little, red carpet type thing. It's like he's been very, very supportive, and I think he cares about her a lot. So, we'll see what comes of their relationship. They seem to be the one with the most brand deals that I've seen.
Yeah.
Have we seen any brand deals for Huda?
I know she had Huda Beauty coming, but Huda Beauty just got pulled from Sephora. I don't know. Hey, all I'm saying is, the universe.
I mean, I think
God
it's a little messy.
Making shit come right back around. So I don't know. I have yet to see Huda in anything. I don't know if it's because she's not doing anything. If people are careful to call her. If I was a business, I would be careful to call her.
I would be careful
whether she got 4 million followers or not, at
sure.
the end of the day, she is center of a lot of controversy, and that just don't look good. And I think other businesses also understand too, like black people, black women, we show up and we know how to pull back. So fuck around and find out. I feel like is the air around that. And so I think the brands have to be very selective. I did see that Agua de Kefir said, I will say, when I did have to last minute replace somebody because I stand with Queen O. Agua de Kefir did say that. So I don't know who was pulled. I don't know if it was like a possible Taylor. I don't know if it was Huda. I don't know. Those are the only two people I would deduce from that it would be in standing for. It could have even been Coco. I don't know. But them the only ones.
Oh, true.
Yeah, them the only ones.
True. But it's like, why would they even pull Coco? I don't feel like
correct.
that's...
She didn't have enough camera time. Look. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, that's very interesting. But I did on brand deals. Chelley with Sacred. I'm like, no, that's one right there,
yes.
girl. That's
I think Serena got Sacred last year. So yeah, love to see that. Love to see that. I'm hoping we get some Savage Fenty soon.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yitty.
All the yes. Okay, well, so do we want to move on to the Ace and Amaya situation, or like, just talk about that?
Yeah. So when Amaya went on to Call Her Daddy, she did a TikTok video with Alex Cooper, who is the host of Call Her Daddy, where they were pretty much making fun of Ace and his height and like the whole running joke. And so Ace called her out on it at the reunion, because I think the thing was, as Olandria said, we're not about to do shit in public and then address it in private. No, we're going to address it publicly like you wanted to throw me out there publicly. And so I think Ace was trying to have that type of moment with Amaya and say, like, you keep saying you don't stand for bullying, but she was quick to participate in this. I did not like how Amaya was like, I didn't even know she was going to post that. Girl, you're doing a TikTok. TikToks are meant to be posted.
Right.
So where that was, I don't know.
And it's
was
like
this a moment where you could say I was absent-minded? Like, we're not about to play that. So... Yeah.
And it's like, girl, so are you saying you're trying to make fun of me in private?
Right.
Like, make it make sense. But either way, but Amaya, she's interesting. She gave me just total fake, inauthentic energy this whole reunion.
Yes.
Like when they were asking her and Brian about the cheating thing, it was just
too.
like, it was just like, it just felt fake and uncomfortable. And it's like, that was surprising, because that's what she's been known for, is that authenticity.
Right.
That's what won her everything. And so I'm like, is this just like the limelight and you don't know how to deal with it? People been calling her like this second version of Huda, been saying like Hannah is who y'all thought Amaya was, all these different things. Yeah. And
which I see their point.
No thoughts.
I see where they're coming from with that, because Amaya, she had her moments in the villa as well, and I don't know, I do think she kind of like skirt over that.
I think they're saying it on the, not about like her crash outs, they're saying it, I think, related to her positions with regard to Chelley and Olandria, and how she is, that's my impression, is that like the same things that people would say about her and not standing up for them is kind of like the same energy you could say with Amaya. I don't know if it's because of the past social media posts or whatever, or also because of like when Huda said whatever thing was mean,
she said,
they did,
mean.
And she was just like, oh yeah, that was mean. And it's just like, you're standing on the side of this chick who has done so many mean things in the house, and she wants to poke out, oh, this
including
one mean thing that you did. Yeah, including to you. So it's just kind of like, I think that's the energy more so than the focus on the crash out. Just more so like they cut from the same cloth, but y'all couldn't see it type of thing.
Yeah.
I don't really. I do think that there's something about him. There's Amaya. There's something.
Yeah. Oh
there.
yeah. Absolutely.
Like
absolutely.
Yeah, there's something there.
Yeah. We do our Love Island summaries of the day, and one of them included all the resurfaced posts from Amaya. And when I posted it on Threads, a lot of people were like, "Oh, she was 13 and and my response was like, me as a 13-year-old, I wasn't talking like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I had enough cultural identity, like, and I grew up in a very, non-black environment. I went to a black church all my life, but like, it was understood that, to me at least, you just don't say stuff like that, like the colorism and stuff like that. And so I'm like, what y'all gotta say now that when it was time to stand up for these two Black women, that you had absolutely nothing to say, but you're adding fuel to the fire that they are being bullies right in front of their face. I'm actually surprised that Olandria and Chelley still follow Amaya after that. I don't know if there was more that happened that wasn't shown, but at least from what we saw, it seemed like she was on the right side of that whatsoever. And even to the her and Brian thing, like, I'm like, girl, you mad? You thought it was a lapse of judgment because he was pouring shots in people's mouths? Like, that is what you do when you host. So I'm trying to figure out how that was a lapse of judgment. Like, I feel like that's what y'all doing when y'all host the club party.
Well, did you see the video?
No, I didn't see the video.
Oh no! Apparently, it's like a girl dancing all on him, and then like she's opening her mouth and he's pouring a bottle like in or whatever. You know that sort of thing.
They ain't
It's
together
that.
now, so it
It's
must have been a little bit more.
well, it seems like they're not together. I don't really have like a ton more. I do like Zach sleeping at the end. Or like that part, that was so hilarious to me. I didn't feel like they got into the Ace Jeremiah beef enough for me.
Yeah.
You know? Because I'm like, that's the one area where I'm not Ace, you ain't in the right on that. But
he apologized.
Wanted to see it. I wanted yeah, but they didn't get into it enough.
Yeah,
for me
I do feel
that.
you. But I'm happy they're all cool though. I'm happy Jeremiah, Ace, Jeremiah, Nic, like Taylor, they cleared it up. But Taylor did not say enough for me in that part either. He was sitting there tight-lipped, and he was the another person that was waiting to vote, that wanted to vote for Jeremiah to be out. So I'm like, Taylor, what you got to say for this? Like,
right, because it was interesting to see actually that Nic didn't want to vote that way. So I thought that was interesting because you didn't know what was happening with it. So I like that. But overall, like the Costas people could go. It wasn't nothing. Iris and Pepe, they gave what they gave. They just be there. Literally. Regular there.
They're not following each other now. The Austin and Jaden thing, that was interesting. Jaden, I felt like she stood 10 toes down. So that ship has sailed. Yeah. I appreciated how she cleared that up. I also appreciated Andrina for stepping in and backing her up on that. As a friend. I do like Andrina's energy, but those are the main things I feel like about the couples. We already know what's going on with them. I think the last thing I was wondering was, is Jeremiah and Andrina are talking to each other or not? They talked about Jeremiah and Bella, and I'm like, I was suspecting Jeremiah and Andrina.
Yeah, it's not given that, like I said before, somebody said Andrina has Michael B. Jordan in her comments or liking her pictures. She don't need to be on Love Island. She can't, So it's like,
it's a bad bitch.
Like, Any final thoughts you have?
No, I think the only thing we didn't cover was the Hannah vote. But again, I felt like, it is what it is. It was either Hannah, Iris, whatever, I felt like after seeing it, cool. I did like how Hannah though cleared it up and like she was just like, you know what, there's no reason for me to dislike these girls. I'm like, you see, this is how you hear something, you process it in reality, like with truth, and then you can come to a conclusion that is not based in delusion and feeling like you are the victim. So I was like, that's a nice contrast. And Drina did the same thing too about the boring comment. She said, well, in Brian's defense, he didn't call me boring. He called our conversations boring. Like, let's actually just talk about what was said and not like, make something out of nothing. So I thought those were good examples for Huda. Will she take the lessons? I don't think so. But yeah, so that's it for Love Island, y'all. Season 7. If there's anything that comes out after this, it seems like Ace is about to do a podcast. We might come back and recap it. I don't know. But yeah, that is a wrap on Love Island season 7, y'all. We will see y'all for Love Island games. Hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. And we will catch you, if not for Love Island games, the next season of Love Island. Bye.
I know. I was like, maybe we'll see. I was like, maybe. I don't know this Love Island games, but if it's good, I'll watch it for sure. But
yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. All right.
Bye.
Bye.